You ever have those days where you putt pretty well and then other days you just can't make a putt to save your life? That inconsistency is an indicator that your putting needs some serious help. Don't worry, we've all been there, and I've been there too. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you help with the 5 biggest warning signs that your putting needs some help and improvement. Stick with us because everybody suffers from number 4 and number 5, and they're not that hard to fix if you know what to do. A lot of people aren't even aware that they have these issues. They just know that their putting is inconsistent. So warning sign number 1 that your putting has serious problems, and I see this every day and every time I give private lessons and every time I play golf, is people whose stroke varies by the length of the putt. Like if they have a really short putt, they'll make a really slow stroke. And then if it's a longer putt, they make a fast stroke. And that inconsistency ruins your aim, because the faster you move it, the more motion there is here, because when you're moving it really slow, you tend to decelerate at impact and leave putts short, and then you start trying to steer it and manipulate the face with your hands, and your accuracy is off. It just ruins your stroke. You've got to be consistent with the speed of your stroke. It needs to be the same tempo every time. You've seen me do this on video before, but 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Longer putt, shorter putt, it doesn't matter. The way to solve this problem is get a metronome and actually stand over a ball or without a ball, and just 1 beat is take the putter back, 2nd beat is contact. You can get a metronome app for your iPhone or for your Android phone, and you turn it on and you start clicking however many beats per minute makes you feel comfortable. For me right now it's 68. I have played for a while at 72, but I'm finding I need a little less pace for me to be comfortable. That can change over time, but you get in that groove and then you stand over the ball and you're just making a stroke. Beat, 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 1, 2. And if it's a short stroke, it's 1, 2. If it's a medium stroke, it's 1, 2. It's a longer stroke, it's 1, 2. Now sometimes people ask, and it's the stroke starts moving back on beat 1 and contacts the ball on beat 2. And you can practice that with your metronome at home. But you have the same tempo on every putt, so that like it's a shorter stroke, but the same tempo. So a short putt, 1, 2. A much longer putt, 1, 2. So it's the same set tempo all the time. Now this leads us and is related to the second problem I see a lot, and that problem is a mismatch in the length of the stroke. Most people tend to go, and I'll put a ball here as an example, most people tend to have a shorter backstroke and a longer follow-through than their backstroke. And I understand what you're trying to do there. You're trying to accelerate through the ball, but you shouldn't do that. Accelerating through the ball is wrong. Now, it's worse to decelerate at the ball. So a lot of people have this problem. They take it back too far and then they're trying to slow down because they know they're hitting it too far. That's too long of a backstroke. Other people have that problem of decelerating, and so to overcome it, they try to really, at the ball that's like a little backstroke and then a long follow through, they're going to accelerate through it. It's really hard to control the speed and distance that way, and that's why so many of you are inconsistent. It should be that your backstroke and your through stroke are the same. Now check this out. I have no ball there. So with no ball there, I'm going to back through. Do it again. Back through. back, through, back, through. And if it's a longer stroke, it's still the same tempo, but it's also the same proportionality in terms of the back and through, the same ratio, 1, 2, 1, 2. Try with no ball, it should be exactly the same back and through. Now, when you put a ball in the way, it should be a little less through, because the ball, there's a crash, there's a collision when your putter head hits the ball, and that slows down the follow through. So when you actually make a stroke and the ball's in the way, watch. I'm going to hit the same way that I did with no ball, but the putter head's just not going to travel quite as far. Back, through. See, it naturally stops because the ball slows it down, just the impact of that collision. You know, I used to struggle with every one of these, and it took a lot of pain, a lot of time, and a lot of effort to figure them out and get a solution, which is why, to make it easier for everyone else in the world, I put together a course called How to Putt the Right Way that resolves all of these issues and gives you an incredible confidence on the greens, feeling like you can make anything, anytime, from anywhere. There's a video link to it, or there's a link to that video in the description. There's also a nice promo code there that gets you a healthy discount, so look into that. Most of you, simply by getting the consistent tempo and a consistent ratio on the back and through on your stroke, that'll save you a lot of strokes per round. But if you stick around for these other three, I'm going to save you even more. Third warning sign I see that your putting needs some serious help is that your grip is too loose. And I know everybody talks about gripping the putter loosely. You don't want a death grip on it, but look what happens when I grip the putter loose. It wobbles in my wrist. That's a very light, loose grip. I have virtually no control over this head because I'm so loose up here on the handle. I can't control the putter face doing that. I like what Cameron Smith says. He started becoming a much better putter, he says, when he started gripping it firmer. You've got to grip the putter tight enough that you're controlling the putter face. This thing wants to twist and wobble. It's a weight on the end of a stick. It wants to swing and move with gravity. I have to hold this tight enough to keep this square and consistent. So you may want to tighten up your grip pressure a little bit. For me, it's as firmly as I can hold it without feeling any tension in my forearms, my wrist, or my hands. No tension, but as firm as you can without tension. Now, the fourth warning sign that your putting needs serious help, and most people that have this problem don't even realize it, is alignment issues. You start watching when you play, you're going to see people on the course, they line up to a putt and their body and shoulders are here and their putter face is over there. It's just wildly inconsistent. They're not lined up square. And then because they're off, like their aim is over here, their stroke goes out there, and they don't even realize it. Their brain's just trying to accomplish the task, which is rolling balls in the hole. You need really help with alignment and aiming your putts. There's some other videos on the channel that will help with that. There's also a ton of content in the course I mentioned earlier that helps with alignment. Warning sign number 5 is the most common. In fact, everybody suffers from this one at some point, and a lot of you suffer from this one all the time, and that's lack of confidence. You stand over a 3, 4, 5 foot putt and you're nervous and you don't get comfortable. You're going like, oh, I hope I make it. I hope I make it. Oh, this one's making it. And you take extra time and or you just get frustrated and go, ah, to hell with it, just whack it. And then you miss it. And you have those short putts and you hope that you kind of move a little slower because you're hoping that your buddies say, oh, that's good, or give it to you. Or even you're worse, you're that golfer who just kind of like, oh, gives it to himself. Yeah, that's good. And it's this long. No, that's not good. You're nervous and you're worried that you won't make it, so you want people to give it to you. that's a warning sign that you need some serious help with your putting. And if you struggle with anxiety over those short putts, that's a great reason to check out the course that I mentioned earlier, to subscribe to this channel, because we give you lots of help in both of those places that'll boost your confidence and make you feel like you can make anything from anywhere, anytime, backwards, sideways, between your legs. In fact, if you'll take my online course, you'll probably get to the point where you feel like you could even putt it over your shoulder and make it in the hole. If you're honest enough to admit that your putting needs some serious help, you ought to check out the resources I've mentioned on this channel. Take that easy, tap in on the subscribe button, share this video with a friend, put your comments below on what you struggle with and need help with, and then check out this video on the screen now that will help you make more putts. And here's to you doing just that.